Call Me,
Oh, gotcha.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I missed the
Oh,
very
I
beginning.
didn't even think about that. Well, people will have that exciting little beginning to
But
think about. I may have to trim my beard so that it doesn't get caught at the end of the frame.
as a Penn Jillette once screamed at Teller, "Are we live?" Yeah, we're live.
Oh, hey, speaking about
He was
which,
more screaming at the audience than at Teller. Teller just happened to
do
be
you
standing next to him.
have. Oh, okay, here we go. Wait a second. Ben Lawrence.
Paul Goody,
Hey, Ben,
come
here's a
on
question for you.
down. Yeah,
Do you have the streaming application known as Peacock?
I do not have the Peacock.
Because Peacock has the Goes Wrong show. Are you familiar with the Goes Wrong show?
As a matter of fact, I am, and as a matter of fact, it is on Amazon. It is available on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
And
good, good, good. Okay.
the reason I know about it is because Alex King spent Christmas Eve with us here at the theater, and we watched the Christmas episode of the Goes Wrong show on Christmas Eve.
Now let me ask you a question, Ben. Because there are two of them. Did you watch the Nativity one or did you watch the Christmas one?
It's the Santa one.
The Santa one.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I watched both. And let me tell you, a new tradition, I think. It was really good.
Yeah, it was funny.
Why did I bring that up? There was a reason I brought it up.
Why did
Oh
you bring it
no.
up, Paul?
Oh, well, one of the reasons I
Something
guess
that you
is
wanted me to
that
watch?
I wanted to talk about the Goes Wrong show. I think it's really really good. Um, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about what it's not a New Year's resolution. It's just a thing that I did that I think is going to be good. I got rid of Hulu and Disney Plus. No longer have them, and picked up instead the Criterion channel.
Okay.
Now, are you familiar with the Criterion Collection, Ben?
I am, yes.
Could you tell our audience members who may be listening to this hundreds of years in the future what the Criterion Collection is?
It's a collection of prestige films with bonus material for collectors, enthusiasts, people who just like movies.
And in general, one could say that the movies that are on there have been curated by someone with you said prestige, right? A
Yeah,
series of,
I'm
of, of
I never assumed it was one person, but more of a committee.
a committee is good, yes. Now, and the thing is, now I know what you're thinking, people at home. Oh, snobbery. Oh, well. Hold on for just a moment. Ben, do you know what is on the Criterion Collection that many people might consider a little lowbrow?
Dude, where's my
Jackass the
car?
movie. Oh, you were so close.
Um, hap-
Jackass the movie
Jackass the movie.
is in the Criterion Collection.
Okay.
And therefore, I think just by its mere presence, right, you cannot say that it's all highfalutin or what have you.
Well, I don't know. Jackass did a lot for the self-harm genre of filmmaking.
Yes, you see, the
One might
reason that
say it's the leader in that genre.
now I would say, Ben, because this is the thing that I think. Now, you and I have not ever actually, I think, discussed this, which is interesting because of what we did for a long period of time while we were on stage. Have we discussed our mutual love of slapstick comedy?
Probably.
Probably.
But I think I know.
I
I
would
think I see
say
where you're going with this.
if someone were going to put us in a category of comedy, right? We always refer to ourselves as performance artists, but if we were to get into some sort of a genre, slapstick comedy might be something because we were oftentimes hitting one another,
Right.
throwing stuff, etc. Um, So I looked up what are some slapstick comedies. Now, Ben, if you were going to name one, what would be a slapstick comedy
I don't
that
know.
you
Anything by the
that
Three
you personally
Stooges, I
enjoy?
guess. I don't know if
Yeah,
there's anything that I'd say I have enjoyed. Um, would you call Caddyshack a slapstick comedy?
I would call Caddyshack a slapstick comedy.
That would
Do you know
rank
what?
up there for me.
Because I think it has to do with, and I know this might be a weird way to put it, but um, I think of a slapstick comedy as anything that not only is interesting because of language, but also interesting because of physics. Like there's
Yeah.
like emotions of objects, people, whatever, in a humorous way. So, um, okay, I would even say that the Marx Brothers, some of their bits are slapstick. Um,
Groucho definitely, slaps around Harpo every once in a while.
and Harpo in general, just
Just a,
the pulling out of an object, the dropping of a thing,
yeah.
somebody getting hit by a pie, all
All
those
of them
sorts of
falling
things.
down on top of one another.
Yes, exactly.
That's the craziest thing I've
Um,
ever heard.
and then I was like, okay, well, wait. What are some modern slapstick things? And Jackass was listed as one of them in the people that I polled. The people that I polled. Hey, wait a second.
Hey, speaking of slapstick,
Uh,
you
hey,
keep your slap off my stick.
but uh, then of course I hit upon. Oh yeah, maybe one of the shining stars, if you will, for the era of slapstick that you and I have lived through. Um, Bottom. Have you seen Bottom?
I've seen one or two episodes. That's Rick Mail, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Adrian Edmondson,
Yeah.
and it's sort of it came after the young ones, and
Yeah.
at the time I was like, well, this isn't. I don't like this the same way that I like the young ones, but I'm revisiting them and realizing that as a as a piece, it's really kind of interesting because it's a double act, right? It's just these two guys mostly, um, and it works.
It
It's useful.
that I think it was around the same time in British comedy as another female fronted slapstick sitcom, Absolutely Fabulous.
Oh yeah, I would say absolutely fabulous. Definitely would be
Yeah.
considered slapstick, right?
Whereas it's like the main two leads are like the slapstick characters, while everybody around them, with some exceptions, are more like grounded and normalized. They don't participate
Yes,
in the slapstick. I'm thinking mainly of is it Saffron? Is that the daughter's name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
it's the
don't know.
daughter. It's the main the red. It's Joanna Lumley and I can't remember the other actress's name, but it's that other actress's the character who plays her daughter is like more of the like put upon,
Yes.
can't believe what sort of a crazy character her mom and her best friend are.
So, all this to say, Ben, I am working on a role-playing game, a TTRPG. I don't want to say too much about it, but who's going to listen? Whatever. It's called Buffoon, and the idea is that it is written for characters who are not good. Characters are bad at what they're doing, and you basically have to make it work. You have goals that you're supposed to achieve, even if you're not good at doing it. So, like as an example, it may be you have an entire adventure that's just trying to wash the dishes, right? But every single step that you make towards that is in itself a challenge.
Yeah.
Uh, and but you might also do something where you are robbing a bank or saving a princess, or it the idea behind it is, and like I said, I want to wait until I'm done with it because I might change the rules around as I'm writing it, so I don't want this to be inaccurate. But the basic idea is that you're giving these characters a structure that then they can rail against and
But the
make mistakes and stuff.
the difficulties of normal everyday activities or extraordinary activities for that matter is high.
Yeah. So and this is all based on. You remember how I mentioned that this podcast that we're doing here, um, we make it because, um, I mean, the format, the hour-long format. The joke is it's not necessarily a joke because it is how it kind of worked out.
The
That
joke has become truth.
Joe Garden said that he hated podcasts that were just two white guys talking for an hour, and so
Yeah.
that's the format of this podcast.
Joke's on you, Joe. We have 2 regular listeners.
Yeah, and you don't listen at all, Joe, that we know of. But the basic idea is that people were talking about the fact that adventurers are better than people, right? Like people talk about how if they were in D&D, they would do this, 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 and this. And there's a regular argument that, well, you couldn't do that because you're not as powerful as a role-playing game character.
Yeah.
And the idea is that I wanted to create a role-playing game for people who were worse than normal people at doing stuff. And they also, a lot of my friends are very rules-light people. They like it when you have a lot of creative freedom, etc.
Right.
And so I wanted to make something where you don't have any choices with what you do in a very large sense of the word. But then you're allowed freedom in very small places. And that small freedom becomes basically, the concept of the funeral laugh, the idea that when you laugh at a funeral, it's 10 times harder to not laugh because the stakes are so high. You're not supposed to laugh there, so you end up. Oh, I wonder if that's why they call it corpsing. Probably
might
not.
Consider it inappropriate.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
know where corpsing came from.
But corpsing, for those of you who haven't heard of the term before, it's where you cannot continue on in the scene that you're supposed to be doing.
You've killed the scene by breaking.
Yes, maybe that's it. And famously, we brought this up several times on the show before, but famously, Ben Lawrence, by and large, does not break. And it's one of the best things about GudeLaurance that people sometimes don't know is that we could go as far as we would because Ben could stand there with a straight face while it was happening.
That's a muscle I have not stretched in a long time.
Oh no, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Not saying anything, but every once in a while, Ben. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to bring up. So because of the Criterion Collection,
yes,
and the fact that I'm working on this game, I have once again start the clock, Ben. I've deleted Reddit from my devices.
Is that just an attempt to keep you focused on the 2 things?
Yeah. If I have Reddit on my phone or on anything that I'm working on, I'll just scroll that.
Yeah.
Not do anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, there are all these wonderful movies I could be watching. Well, that's fine, but I need to find out what's happening with the drones in New Jersey.
I did hear that one fell and hit a kid. Somebody.
I'm sorry.
I don't think the person. Maybe it's not a kid, but I don't think the person that this drone hit died, but it definitely hurt them because those things are large. But that was something that's something that you might have seen on Reddit if you had been scrolling Reddit, because Reddit's very concerned about these drones.
I didn't. They are very concerned about the drones, but I did not see the thing about a kid getting hit. That's brand new news. Almost enough to make me go and look at it, but I'm not going to.
Paul, I know what you're talking about in terms of because in terms of being on Reddit and just doom scrolling forever and just eating up hours of your day. try to every year use January 1st as sort of a hard reset to try to get rid of bad habits. It sometimes works, it's never really worked that well. This year I decided to start on the solstice. So on Saturday, December 21st, I decided that was my New Year's resolution starting point. And one of the things that I decided to do is to not go to Facebook, go to Reddit, go to Threads, X. I'm going to try, because I would find myself just mindlessly, just like, I wasn't even reading the things that were going in front of my face. I was just scrolling. It's a weird Black Mirror type addiction where I could not. I'm like, oh, I should get up and like go to the bathroom. But what if I miss something interesting that comes along?
You just take it with you to the bathroom, Ben. That's what everybody does. I can't believe that you've missed out on that part of the experience.
Oh, there's a whole.
Because then it's like, I have to get out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
How long have I been in
My
here?
legs are asleep. I've been here so long.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm making a concerted effort to try to do that as well.
It really is something that, like, this is one of the reasons why I have to delete it off of my devices, is that if I have it on the devices, I'll just open it. I'll open it and I'll be looking at it and I won't even think about it. No.
I've done that thing where I'm on Reddit and I'm just scrolling. And I'm like, well, this is not interesting. Let's go and see what's happening on Reddit, and I'll just hit the button on the on the toolbar.
Yes. Yep.
Just refreshing the page.
I have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, one of the things I wanted to show you, and now this is going to be fun because it's the first time that I'm going to use it. This right here.
I don't.
You see that?
It's a looks like a speaker of sorts. What is it?
This is an air compressor.
Oh, an air compressor.
Jennifer got me. Yep.
You got like an air mattress you need to blow up?
And it's for tires.
Oh, okay. So like an automotive air compressor.
Yeah, Jennifer and I talked about how this may be the first gift I've ever received where I've been fully seen. Because I'm constantly concerned and upset about our tire pressure. I'm like, oh no, the tires are unbalanced.
Does your car tell you when your tires are low?
Yes, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So that's what this is for.
My car does that too. The car I have now is the first car I've ever owned that actually monitors the tire pressure. It doesn't tell me which tire's low when the warning light comes on. Last time it came on, it took me I wasn't really sure which tire was low because I also have these like low profile tires. But my the people I was visiting at this time had an air compressor that looked like a Makita drill, but instead of the drill bit, it had a little short length of hose that you put onto the filler port on the tire, and you squeeze the trigger. You set the dial to what pressure you want. You squeeze the trigger, and it turns off when it hits that PSI. It was amazing. I want one.
Yeah, that's what this thing does pretty much.
Yeah.
You set it to the PSI. I've got it at 35 right now, but you can change it. You can go higher or lower. You can have it set for bicycle. You can have it set for basketball. And then there's also KPA. I don't know what that's for. But anyway, yeah. So those are the main things I got. And then I bought a couple of things for myself. One of them was an actual slapstick.
Like a hockey stick?
No, a slapstick, like that you would use on like either as a percussion instrument or on stage to like act like you hit somebody.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it like really like the board with a hinge and
the board with a hinge and another board? Yep.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's made out of hickory.
Dickory
by a
dock.
man named Andrew. Well,
I
a person named Andrew. I don't want to assume, but
I
I
didn't
believe a man named Andrew.
I uh I did not buy myself any Christmas gifts because I don't wait until Christmas to purchase the things that I need or
Yeah.
want. But I did have Christmas with my family, and I walked away from that with two standard gifts that my parents always give me every year, even though I never ask for them. I asked for them 1 year, and then it's turned
Right.
into it like 20 years on. It's a thing. One is a Beatles calendar where my mom writes in all the birthdays of our family members,
Oh.
which I love because I never remember any of that, and I'm terrible at keeping like records, that kind of. So and the another one is a the previous year's complete collection of the Topps baseball cards.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
it's a box of baseball cards. So yeah, and yeah, my sister gave me like a pair of like big wool comfy socks that have like little rubber pads on the bottom, so you can wear them in the house and you won't slip.
Right, right.
Which
We actually got um, carpet for the stairs so that you can't slip on it.
were they
Um,
not carpeted when I was visiting you?
they weren't. No.
Oh,
Yeah, they're little carpet patches,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you will. Yeah, because Betty actually fell down the stairs once. And
Oh
we were like,
no,
okay, well, that's it.
was she okay?
I don't know. We hardly ever talk
Jesus.
anymore.
She's a teenager, so I don't know if you're actually telling the truth or joking about it.
Oh, she rarely exits her room.
Yeah.
Um, but she seems to be doing okay
Okay.
when I
She's
see her talk to her.
getting enough food and water and like
Yeah, yeah, she's
sunshine and
very capable of
medicine
doing
when
those
she needs
things.
it. Okay.
Um, Jennifer is sort of the leader when it comes to getting us to do things.
I'm sure
If
she
that makes
loves
sense.
that part of
Oh yeah.
life.
But so we're supposed to go and look at Christmas lights at some point in time, before they go away.
Are they on
Well,
sale right now? Is that why you're?
oh no, to watch to
Oh,
look
to
at
like
people who
drive
have them
around
on.
and look at the
Yeah,
light. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. That's always a fun tradition.
Yeah, it's but I had this going on and Betty didn't feel like it, so we're not doing it for
So
right now.
tomorrow, Friday night, if people still have their lights on, but the
Yeah,
Christmas lights stay on through the first week of the new year.
yeah, they'll probably exactly. I think they'll keep them. And then yeah, I'm taking a little bit of time off work. Tomorrow's Friday. After Friday, I'm going to be off work until Thursday, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, I actually am working, because as you know, I freelance, and
Yes,
without saying too much, I'm getting a lot of
freelance. Some night's going to be pretty exciting. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Lance was wrongfully imprisoned. Um, uh, I'm actually because the people who normally like the in-house video editors at the clients that for the clients I work with are taking
Mm,
this week off. I'm getting all of that
yeah,
overflow work, and so
nice.
yeah, it's actually quite busy for me right now, which is unusual. The winter time is typically a really slow period for me, and this is when I generally do like a lot of data archiving and backing up and like organizing of everything, updating software,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, just general like maintenance. Not now though.
I
Got it.
mean, that's good though, right?
Daddy has bills to pay.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you.
It is good. It is good. There's part of me is like, oh, I wish I could like not work, but it's not terrible work. It's stuff that I enjoy doing, so I don't mind it.
Yeah. Sorry. Lance Henriksen did nothing wrong. Would be a great T-shirt to have. And actually, here's the thing: a T-shirt that says Ben Lawrence did nothing wrong. If I just start wearing that, and people are like, I'm like, yeah. And anybody asks me about it, I'll say, yeah. People don't know what they're talking about. He's fine.
I'm gonna send you that T-shirt. I I always appreciated, and then I'm gonna order one that says Paul Goody did nothing wrong.
Oh
Um,
man,
I
don't make yourself a liar, my friend.
when you see those signs, Bill Posters will be prosecuted, and somebody writes next to it, Bill Posters is innocent.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. You can tell by my face that I hadn't heard that one until like right now, which is
It's
incredible. But
yeah. I've also seen it as Bill Stickers. Bill Stickers sounds like a more fun name, but just people who own walls don't want other people to put things on them.
yeah, I'm already. This is the thing that's happening. Is I'm already like thinking about all the things that I'm gonna miss out on uh, by not looking at Reddit, and it's all stuff like explain the joke or whatever. What things where people like post a joke and they're like, I don't get this. What does it mean? And then other people explain it to them.
Yeah.
If I could just get that. Now, this is the problem. Is that I was gonna say if I could just get that, then I could just read that all day. But if that's the problem, is that I could read any one of the things that I'm looking at all day. That's why I'm not doing it.
Or
I'm not doing something that I enjoy so that I can do something else that I enjoy.
you could give yourself rules. Like, you have a phone that has a stopwatch on it. You could say, I'm going to look at Reddit for 15 minutes. And when the timer goes off, that's my time for today.
Yeah, that erodes eventually. That's the problem. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it as a concept, but yeah, it has to be cold turkey a little bit. Um, but I'm still allowing myself to be on Discord, so
Yeah.
I can get some of that fun stuff happens from the Discord people. All of my news, the basic news that I'd be missing out on, I can still get from there. You know,
Hey guys, you froze.
for those of you at home, Ben froze for a second. I think he's back now.
You froze for me too.
Okay. Oh no, something interrupted both Ben and I.
At the same
Okay.
time. Who would
Yeah.
have thunk it?
Now we know that when this happens, sometimes we get out of sync. So let's do. Oh, I got to put it down for this though. Oh no.
Can't believe you've been
How's that
holding that this entire time.
All right. So here, I'll lean it up against. Nope, that's
How
not
about
gonna
this?
work.
We just
Here, I'll
we
put it-
just say clap. How about we go
Okay,
1, 2,
okay.
3, clap.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Clap.
All right, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem is that I thought you were gonna get with me on the 1, 2, 3 as well.
Ah.
So I was like, oh no, this is bad. This is very bad.
No, I only said the clap part.
So yeah, I got rid of Disney Plus. I got rid of Hulu. Well, I felt okay with it because they were doing some weird things with accounts anyway, and also that weird thing of if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, then you can't sue if your wife gets killed or whatever. I don't know exactly what the rules are.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Made me think, okay, well, maybe not. But it means that I'm not watching, what is it? Skeleton Crew, which is fine, except I like Daniels, the director.
I haven't seen
Zip
it. Oh,
of it.
the Daniels are directing Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, they
Oh.
directed at least one episode of it.
I did not know that.
That's what I understand. So yeah, so I didn't get to see that.
I haven't seen
But-
the Skeleton Crew, but I also heard that it's more aimed at like a young adult audience.
It is for sure.
Yeah.
But the Criterion Collection is really really great. Here's what I've watched so far on the Criterion Collection. The first thing was The Celebration. Are you familiar with this?
Nope.
It's one of the first Dogma 95 films.
Don't know what that is either.
Which, Dogma 95, Ben, look it up. It's an idea that some filmmakers in Denmark, I think, came up with. And then other people made movies with that. I think maybe Werner Herzog did, maybe Lars von Trier. Who's the guy who did Harmony Korine? Did one for sure. But anyway, the basic idea is that you got these rules of how you shoot and how you edit and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. So I saw that. I saw Le Jeté, which is what we do for. It made 12 Monkeys. Le Jeté was what became 12 Monkeys.
It was like
what do you call
Terry
it?
Terry Gilliam's
Terry
inspiration.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. What do you call it when it becomes a thing, but it goes through a guy's head first? Inspiration for 12 Monkeys.
It was what Terry Gilliam trained on to make 12 Monkeys.
Exactly. Well, people are going to hate that, but it's going to happen.
I saw a movie on Christmas Day. You may have mentioned this to me. I don't know, but I saw a movie called Hundreds of Beavers. Have you seen this one?
I haven't seen Hundreds of Beavers.
Check it out.
I don't know who told you about it, but
all right, so there's a couple movies where I thought, yeah, Paul Goody told me about that movie, and it hasn't been you for a couple of instances. So
that is bizarre but weird.
Maybe
bizarre but weird is how I said that.
I'm entering the part of the simulation where everybody's voice is filtered through the Paul Goody voice synthesizer when it enters my brain.
I always assume that I talk to Jennifer about something, and when I talk about something with you, I will say to her, did I talk about this with you or Ben, right? And if it's anyone but the two of you, then I'm at sea. Wait, who did I talk about this with? That person doesn't exist, etc. Right. But Hundreds of Beavers. Okay, I'll check it out. Let's see, what else did I see on that? I saw.
Here's the thing about Hundreds of Beavers that I'll just tell
Fog?
you: don't read anything about it. Just find it and watch it. Don't look it up. Just go in blind as you can.
Okay. The Fog.
The Fog.
Which is a John Carpenter film.
Yeah. Which is not The Mist, but
no. Well, different.
Yeah.
And finally, Night of the Hunter.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, man, Night of the Hunter is great. You can see it on the Criterion Collection.
You've probably seen this.
Very stylistic.
I don't know if you watch YouTube, if that's part of your I don't do social media anymore, but
YouTube is my sort of Reddit methadone. Like I can watch YouTube for a while also.
There's a Criterion Channel has a video series where people go into the Criterion closet and pick out DVDs and talk about them.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's interesting, but it's also like the assumption is the people in the closet get to keep the DVDs, right? They're putting them in a bag. They don't mention whether or not the subject has to pay for what they took. So you're watching this going, "Oh, rich and famous people who can afford a DVD are given free DVDs by the Criterion Collection." And for my amusement.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I can understand, like, if they do it if they appear for free, but they get to take the DVDs.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a really interesting idea.
I don't know, like, how much would it cost Michael Shannon to go to the Criterion Collection and, like, spend 10 minutes in the closet talking about movies that he wants?
There's another aspect of it where the celebrity is allowed to destroy the original celluloid of one of the. Because that's the thing. And Ben, I'm totally serious about this. And I forgot for a second that the Criterion Collection famously makes DVD reissues of films. Like that's one of the things that they
It's
do.
its own thing, yeah.
So I was like, what happens if the DVD the celebrity decides to take is really rare and it's the only copy? Well, that wouldn't be the case. That wouldn't be the case specifically because of
They wouldn't put it in the
their
closet.
business model. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, there is a real difficulty that I have. Um, that I've this is again, it's time to take a little walk down OCD
Are we
land
bringing it down a bit?
with Paul a little bit. Well, not really, but we are talking about a weird eccentricity of mine.
Okay.
Um, so what happens is things leave the Criterion channel at the end of the month. Things leave.
Not uncommon for a
New
streaming
things come in.
service.
So they list these are all the things that are leaving.
Yeah. And you're like, I have to watch them
so
before they go?
So I can't watch anything. There's so many great movies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there are several okay movies that are leaving that I'm like, well, I have to watch. I can't allow this to leave. Like, and when I say okay movies, they're all good, right?
Yeah.
Like all the all the Coen brothers movies that are leaving. Like True Grit's leaving, The Big Lebowski's leaving, things like that. I'm like, well, I should probably take a look at that.
But
John Carpenter movies.
are these movies available on other streaming services? Like, what makes so the thing about the thing about Criterion Collection DVDs is that they are chock full of bonus material, right?
Yeah.
What do you get from the Criterion Channel?
Okay, one thing that you get from the Criterion Channel is the bonus materials, I believe, exist like along with, so you can watch the thing, right?
Yeah.
And also its bonus materials are also available.
So like
I believe that is
you go
that
down and like here are all the like in the main splash page for the movie you like tab down and you see all the little like what would be DVD extras, but they're just like little boxes you can select. Like here's an interview with Wim Wenders and here's an interview with one of the actors.
Very, very close. You search for a movie and the movie's there, and then there's a section for extras. And all the extras are there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a linkage between the two. There should be. There should be. I just don't know if it's there.
Yeah.
If not, hey guys, let's do it.
Because
that would make sense.
I'm wondering if is the quality, let's say The Big Lebowski is also on Netflix. Why care that it's gonna go away from the Criterion Collection if it's available on Netflix?
Okay, so here's something I would say. One of the big gripes I have about getting the Criterion Collection channel, the Criterion channel, is that, at least from what I've observed, there is no app on my TV for the Criterion channel. So I have to stream from my phone to the TV.
That is a non-starter.
Which actually seems to work pretty well.
I'm sure it works fantastically, but like,
and it looks all right.
That's
and
an
so
extra
I use my phone as the menu screen, and then I use the But you would think that they should have their own app. I don't know why they don't.
Yeah.
But so far the quality hasn't seemed bad when I'm doing it that way. But it does. I would like it. I would like it if it worked another way. I'm sorry, I have a joke that I have to tell now. A witch turned me into a kitty cat, and that gives me pause.
That's
Is that Is that something?
We've
Did
said
somebody else do it?
no, but previously on the GudeLaurance podcast, if we had a producer, they would cut to us. We were talking about werewolves, and you said I ran into a werewolf bit me in the forest, and now every full moon I don't turn into a werewolf, but it does give me pause.
Oh my God, Ben, that's a better joke. I can't believe I. Yeah,
You
sometimes
stole from yourself, Paul
I stole it
Goody.
for myself. The other thing that's sort of like that is, um, I offended a witch, or I what was it? I cut off a witch in traffic, and she turned me into the police, and I hate it. Too much paperwork.
Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So here's something I will say. I had stated that my Google, or the way that I could keep the screen from going was to have my browser open in another window, and it just went out. It just went asleep. And so it's either wrong or I actually have to have it on Gmail in order for it to work,
Is
and
it
I
still
can't tell.
recording?
Well, yeah, it is still recording, but the fact of the matter is, it shouldn't have gone down. It shouldn't have gone to sleep.
Yeah.
If the thing that I thought was going to work did. Oh, here's another thing. I had an issue with buying a gift card from Amazon for my niece, and luckily I don't have to worry about it anymore. But for a while, it was causing me problems because here's what would happen is I would place the order, right, and I'd hit OK, go, or whatever, however you would say it, right. Place the order, and then place order, right. I just do a place the order thing, and then after I did the place the order thing, the form would reset, making it look like maybe it worked.
This is
right?
on Amazon?
Yeah. And the important thing is I was clicking the buy now link.
Yeah.
So I'd fill out all the information for the gift card, I'd hit buy now, and then it would disappear. And I was like, okay, did I place it? And then I would look at my orders, and there would be no gift card listed, and I'd go to my email, and it wouldn't say, thanks for placing your order, like it did for the other 4 gift cards that I bought.
Yeah.
So this is the 5th gift card. This is the 5th gift card. This is the 5th gift card.
You're buying them from Amazon?
Amazon gift cards.
Yeah.
Yes. Because then we have to, as many problems as he has, we have to keep Jeff Bezos close to as rich as Elon Musk.
I'm just saying,
the two of them need to. We need to have two people that are almost as rich as each other.
I've never bought a gift card online. I've always bought a gift card from a large wall of gift cards in the store. 4 things to buy online.
This is the thing, is that if you buy the Amazon gift card shows up right away digitally, and they can just click on it and then buy whatever they want.
Oh, so
at Amazon.
They're not mailing you a little plastic card. It's just more like you're sending somebody a discount code.
I'm sending somebody money through Amazon, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is. So I was like, okay, I have to stop, because either there is something broken, or I have sent my niece 5 gift cards.
I'm sure she'd appreciate it.
Which, yeah, she would. I'm sure she would appreciate it, but not what my plan was.
Right.
So I just stopped for that day, and then I woke up this morning, and I was like, I know. And I went through the cart instead of the buy now. And when I went through the cart, it worked fine.
So for some reason, the buy now button didn't work for gift cards.
And I think I know why. Well, no, it had. See, this is the thing.
But just not for that specific one.
It had worked for the previous 4.
Yeah.
Didn't work for that one. And when I went through and I did it through the cart, it said, oh, please verify your payment address. Re-enter your credit card. So I think what it was is that after I bought, multiple gift cards, it was like, we want to make sure this guy isn't scamming.
Yeah.
So let's have him put his credit card in again. But since I was using Buy Now, it didn't trip that thing that said, please re-enter your credit card, because that's one of the things Buy Now does, is it skips the choosing of a payment method. It just, purchases it.
That's gift cards is a big thing for scammers. I'm led to believe.
Yep, it certainly is. Because, and the thing that I love, Ben, obviously, something that I would watch on Reddit, but not now, is the people who understand how the scams work.
Yeah. And
And
like
then
string them along.
String them along, and then at the very end, ruin it.
Yeah.
They'll get the gift cards and then they'll redeem them.
There's one
and be like, is that not what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah, there's one YouTuber. I haven't seen him in a while. I can't even remember what his name is, but he would like use voice modulators and like pretend to be old people and would set up all these fake bank accounts that they would remote into his his computer, and the scammers would see that this fragile old lady had like a couple million in savings, and they would try to get it from her, and he would just like keep them on the phone for like days at a time.
There's another guy who did this thing where he would like give basically do the equivalent of swatting.
Yeah.
Where he would give the police the address of where the scammers were.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Vigilante justice, though, Ben, it's not. Is it worth it? We don't know. Hey, speaking about which, thinking a little bit about how to talk about
You're trying to segue to the new Superman
thing. Oh no, is he a vigilante in the...
No, but Batman, and then he's in the same DC universe, so there's nothing new Batman. So I thought maybe Superman.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. There's not a... What are we calling the...
Oh, Luigi Mangione?
Yeah. But now you've got me on Superman. What's the name of the guy who does Superman? I can't think of his name now.
What guy?
The guy, Slither, Guardians of the Galaxy. He's a director, writer sometimes.
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Are we calling it the Gunniverse? What is it? What's the term that they use?
I've not heard of any universe portmanteau for now that James Gunn has taken over the DC universe. I think they're just keeping it as the DC extended universe.
Because we've got the Batman.
Yeah. The Suicide Squad.
But I don't think the Batman is in that universe. The Batman and Penguin and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're together or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it matter? Like, we saw, Ben Affleck and the guy who played Superman in the Snyderverse.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Anybody listening to this is probably yelling at their.
He was also the Witcher.
He was. Anyway, so those two characters met, right? But it was in the Justice League, but it was never like. I don't know if it was very well received, and so I'm wondering if James Gunn is like, no, my Superman is not going to meet Matt Reeves' Batman. That's not going to happen.
Exactly. That's my question. And so the question is then, will there be a Batman in the Gunniverse? That's my...
I think since
Gunniverse?
Gunniverse,
maybe?
No. How about the... I'm not going to come up with a name. But... maybe in this for James Gunn, he's just gonna say, "Look, I have my Superman, Matt Reeves, you have the Batman. Let's keep them separate."
So I will say this one thing about Luigi that I find interesting, um, and that's that the idea right now that some people are having still is that the photo that was originally circulated by the police was a different photo than his photo. And it used to be, well, he can't be the guy because he doesn't have the same eyebrows,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The photo of the shooter has more of a pronounced unibrow.
And now the thing, or well, more of a separate, like there's a separate in his. He has the more unibrow. Luigi does.
Mm.
Has more of a unibrow than the shooter did. Is the is what people are claiming. But now here's the thing that's crazy. Public opinion has shifted. It seems like, and now they're like, well, obviously that first picture wasn't the picture of the shooter. That was a picture of a different guy. This guy's the shooter now. When I say public opinion, I don't mean public opinion. I mean media sentiment. Like the people whose voices are being pushed more, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people, and we know this, Ben, we've seen this before, are like, oh, it couldn't be my friend Luigi. He was helping me move that day.
Yeah.
And other people are like, shout out to our best roadie Luigi who helped us load
Was
in.
with us in Mankato,
Yeah.
Minnesota on the night of whenever that was.
And this is what I'm going to say, Ben. I know that other people have pointed this out, but I'm just going to do it. It is the return of uh, outlaws. Like, and what I mean by that is there was a time where, like, John Dillinger, Bonnie and Clyde, Al Capone, all those people were thought to be
For
were
the
like
people.
celebrities. You know,
Yeah.
people liked them. And now we've got two different types of outlaw celebrities. You've got, this guy shot a CEO, and you've got this guy had crazy sex parties and blackmailed a lot of people. And and I think that in general, the American public is siding with the right type of outlaw. No one, I mean, it used to be at one point in time that if someone was accused of exploitation of people, and it still happens still at this time. We've got Matt Gaetz, who famously was running to be, or not running, but in the running,
He
pick number
was
one
he
to
was
be Attorney
nominated by
General. Was that
Trump.
it?
He was nominated by Trump.
Yeah, and then dropped out because of ethics violations or whatever. And you still have people uh, defending him, but the people who are defending him are, in general, the same people who are guessing that or saying that uh, Luigi is for sure guilty, right? Or assuming that. It's very much a sides thing, often. The one thing that was interesting that I thought was that the lawyer for Luigi said this about the mayor's statement, and I went back and looked at it, and the mayor, in several types of his statements, presumed guilt. He said something like, "I wanted to look at him and say that he couldn't do that in my city," something to that effect. He was speaking of Luigi as though Luigi was the one who had done the thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to him being an alleged guy. An alleged guy, Ben. You know.
Guilty until proven innocent. That's not the way it should be, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
And they talked about his, and we try to keep, abreast of the news for the people. They talked about his perp walk. The
Yeah.
fact that he was surrounded by armed guards and several other people who had done, like I think they pointed to, there's a man who set a woman on a subway car on fire
Yeah, she
who was
died.
recently did a similar walk, and he had like one guy with him.
Yeah.
You
There's
know, so it's
I've seen a couple examples of that where you have that almost like album cover type photo where you have Luigi in his orange jumper and like a
yeah,
flanks of New York City armed cops, and then you juxtapose that with another fella who like murdered three children, and he's just being led to the bus by one guy who probably
yeah.
looks like a cop who probably couldn't outrun the perpetrator if he got away. It's
So my thought with that, if I were, because I do this all the time. Okay, what if I were the mayor? What if I were the mayor and I was being, you know, chided for that or whatever? Oh, all those people there to protect him. There to protect him. This is you know, a trial. You're innocent until proven guilty. Some people have already made up their minds, and I would hate for him to have gotten shot before a fair trial.
yeah.
So that's why all those people were there. People might not
It's
believe
like
it, but at least
they don't want to recreate the Lee Harvey Oswald perp walk.
exactly. Oh, hey, by the way, um, one thing that we should mention regarding the fact that it was Christmas time. Uh, I have had several people say that they enjoyed our little animated Christmas thing that I posted to my group.
Oh yeah, excellent.
So you did Ben animated a thing off of some drawings, and I will note, Ben, I didn't draw every single thing that you animated. So you must have drawn some of
You
the
drew the
things, like,
characters. I did the backgrounds.
yeah, the backgrounds and the characters fit very, very well.
Yeah.
Um, it was one of those cases where I watched it going, well, I didn't draw that. Uh, and yeah, it looked really good. Congratulations. And
that's
we're
actually
funny.
the last one I did, and it's been a number of years. I haven't done any GudeLaurance cartoons in a long time.
Yeah, have we said anything cartoon worthy? Maybe that's the problem.
Well, I don't know.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention that much. But it's the thing about that is, back when I was doing it, that was sort of a lot of work. Now I could probably just load the audio file into some sort of program, and it does it automatically.
maybe. You got to be careful, though, Ben. People still have a low tolerance for certain types of
Yeah,
workflow.
our cartoons are definitely handmade.
Yeah. And so it should be,
And
I think.
so shall it is. So shall
So,
it is.
yeah,
How is it
I
happening?
was. How's it happening, Ben? What does it look like? So I feel as though we are going to get to a point. I can't talk. I'll talk to you about this after
During
after the
the
podcast.
Patreon bonus section.
You're in the Patreon bonus section, which we don't have because we don't have a Patreon. And if we do have a Patreon, something terribly wrong has happened.
Speaking of today,
So,
today is December 26th. Today is friend of the show, Becky Poole's birthday.
Becky Poole, happy birthday!
Send her a text.
Everyone
wish her a happy birthday.
should go out and get Becky's song "Object" from wherever you get your songs.
I get my songs from Earl down the street.
Oh, "Object," yeah.
Coming right up.
That's not it at all, Earl. Well,
It is now.
don't knock it until I get actually done. Here comes the saw part. Again, the saw part, amazing when it hits. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to Object by. That would be nice. Becky Fool, if you are listening, at some point in time, do one song where you're actually sawing a piece of wood. Just for the. And you know what would happen, Ben, is that she would do it and it would be like awesome.
Yeah. You know
That's the
what?
thing.
I can't imagine that there isn't that already where a saw player has incorporated a clip of actual wood sawing in a piece of art, like a song.
At one point in time, I used a sawing sound effect on a cart for ads for breakers, and I did this voice. I like to saw wood, but only half as much as I like listening to KCOU Columbia. Um, and people liked it. Not everybody, but enough people that it kept going. And hey, speaking about
With
not
that,
everybody liked it, not enough people, but it kept going. Hey, another ending of the podcast, Ben. As always, wonderful to talk to you. Thank you so much.
yeah, and Happy Boxing Day, and
Happy Boxing Day, Ben.
and I'll talk to you next week. Keep it
As my
wrong.
keep it wrong, and as my wife said, Boxing Day probably meant that the rich people boxed up the stuff they didn't use and gave it to the people that serve them.
Yep.
Most likely.
All right.
And hey, I really, Ben, you stuck the landing, and I stayed afterwards and got. What if you jumped a little bit more? Wouldn't that be cool? All right, Ben.